It's 7 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Day. Um, I had 3 hours sleep because of the pain. Um, on Thursday night, so the evening that I recorded the first videos, I must have slept on my side, my right side, and I was in a lot of pain yesterday. Um, Getting up was difficult. Showering was very difficult. Um, Yesterday, as well, was kind of difficult mentally and emotionally. Mentally, because I was having doubts about, what if the ultrasound doesn't pick this up? What if the surgery doesn't work? All sorts of negativity, really, which is kind of new for me because I I try to be the kind of person that when I have a negative thought, I immediately counteract it with something positive, and I wasn't able to do that yesterday. I think um, yesterday was particularly difficult because on Thursday I was supposed to see my dad, and seeing my dad was really important to me. It was kind of the first. I've been sort of in my head. I've said, well, I've broken it down, so I'm going to see Dad. Then I'm going to get a date for my ultrasound, and then I'm going to, have a referral to Joel, and then. So, I think because that first step hasn't happened, it's thrown me off a little bit because I kind of feel like every day is so hard at the moment, and by having something like to count down to, it would make it easier to get through the day and the pain. Um, Sorry, I'm just not feeling too good. Um, so, yeah, if you're wondering what's happened, it's that I've got pain in my side at the moment. It's not the worst pain in the world because I'm sat still, but it's there. So that's why I went quiet and off, what I was saying. Um, yeah, so seeing Dad. So basically, I had to get my dad on my side really because and tell him that this is what I've got. So I sent him everything that I found, screenshots of things in groups where people have had the same symptoms as me, and I sent him a video of my ribs and everything, and he is on the same page as me. So I told him that I have to go and see Dr. Abassi in London, and that I will need to borrow some money because it is £500. Obviously, I'm off work at the moment, so financially it's a bit of a mess. Because here in the UK you get statutory sick pay, which is £90 a week, and my outgoings are about £800 a month. That's just for like bills, mortgage, and food. So, yeah, it's not really good. On a side note, I'm going to ring the bank today and see if I can do interest only on my mortgage, because if you own a house, you don't get any help from the government. That's only if you're renting, so that's a bit of a bummer, really. Yeah, so yesterday I had it in my head that I was gonna see Dad, and even though we probably wouldn't be able to book an appointment because it was New Year's Eve, I thought we would maybe get a date in mind, and I think just seeing him was important for me as well because I don't really see anyone apart from my partner, and I'm stuck in the house every day. And I can't even go shopping now, which was, I'd do the food shop, and it was, to be honest, it was the worst part of the week. It was really hard for me, but I pushed myself, and I can't do it anymore. It's only 200 meters away, but walking is a huge struggle for me, and if it gets to the point where I can't walk anymore. So yeah, I think because that didn't happen yesterday, it threw me off. So my plan is that I'm going to call Dr. Abbasi's clinic on Monday to book in a date, and pay the deposit, and then at least I have something to count down to. I have health insurance, so maybe there's people who are watching this video in the US. Things work differently here. So we pay national insurance, which is about, well, I don't know how much it is, but it's not very much. And when we need medical treatment or hospital treatment, we don't have to pay. But because this is such a rarely diagnosed condition, there is only one specialist in the whole of the UK that can successfully sort of diagnose this, basically with dynamic ultrasound as opposed to regular ultrasound. He's worked with a lot of SRS patients, and basically they get it on film. They record what's going on actually under the skin, and they see which ribs are touching other ribs and how they're moving in irregular ways, and what nerves they're touching and everything. And then once I have the report from Dr. Abbasi, I can go to my GP and get a referral to Joel for my surgery, which I know that that's going to take a long time because of COVID, and I know it's going to be financially, it's going to be difficult, and again I'm going to have to borrow money because I'm going to have to go to Middlesbrough, which is at the other end of the country, for surgery, and then I'll have to stay in Middlesbrough because I won't be able to get into a car. So I guess this is just, it's like being ill and not ill, but basically disabled and in pain is one thing. Having something that is so rare and misunderstood is another thing. But then having to convince your own doctor that it exists, and then having to go to the other end of the country when you can barely walk, having to pay for private treatment, and then having to go to the other end of the country again for surgery, it just makes everything so much harder than it should be. I'm really glad that I've got my dad, because I don't know what I would do otherwise. Yeah, so I went off on a tangent again. Sorry, I do that sometimes. That's just the cat. So health insurance. So I pay through my union. I pay £26 a month, and then when I have like osteopathic treatment or chiropractic treatment, or I need new glasses, or I need to go to the dentist, I get some of that money back. I had a look at my health plan thing, and there is cover for diagnostic tests. So I'm going to email the insurance company today to see how much I can get off that. Like I said, it's £500. I'll have to get to London and back. So, it's going to be really expensive, but hopefully that will cover some of it. I think once I've got a date to see Dr. Abbasi, I will feel a little bit better because I'll have that countdown, and every day when I'm struggling and I have pain and I can't do things, I'll be, closer to finding out what is actually happening and where in my body, and then I can be on the road to being fixed. But yeah, this is really, really tough. Like today is New Year's Day. It just feels like a normal day. I have no plans other than to call the bank to see if I can do interest only on my mortgage for a few months at least. To email the insurance company, and then I'm gonna try and hoover, because the floor, I mean, it's not that bad, but by my standards, if there's stuff on the floor, I don't like it. I haven't hoovered for weeks. Normally I'd do it twice a week, so I'm gonna try and do that and see how I get on. It only takes, well, it used to take 2 minutes. It's gonna be hard. I'm gonna try. I don't know how it's gonna go, but things are so bad that, I've got to show you this, right? The recycling is in the garage, which is, it's up the other end of the garden. You won't be able to see because it's dark. Normally I would take all of the recycling stuff out every day, and it's built up over here, and that's horrible for me. It's a mess. I like to have a really tidy, clean house, but I just haven't been able to walk to the garage, which is 15 meters away. And then, in there I'd have to stand and put everything in the recycling bags, and that sounds ridiculous because it's such an easy thing. But, if I do that, I won't be able to do anything else for the rest of the day. So today I'm going to try and hoover. I'm going to try and take the recycling to the garage. And then I'm probably just going to look at more SRS stuff and post on the group, and probably watch a film or something to try and take my mind off everything that's going on. And yeah, I'll keep you updated.